On your block this weekend in Novi, where there's a special screening of Halfway to Halloween.
Yeah, but the best part is the men who played Michael Myers will be there to meet the fans, and they're here today. Chris, are you scared?
Well, not yet. They look way more friendly than I thought. They're not in costume, so it's not so bad. So glad you gentlemen are in here. Nick and James, thanks for dropping by. You guys played such an iconic horror film villain, really. Nick, you started off in the original role.
That's
How did
right.
you get that role in the first place?
Well, you get friends with the director and the writer, and then it's easy because we went to film school together. This is John Carpenter,
Yeah.
the amazing John Carpenter, and I was on the set while they were planning the show. And he looked at me and said, "Nick, if you want to stick around and bother me, why don't you just put on the mask and walk around?" It was as simple as that. That's how it started.
That is incredible. So you kind of had a little leeway there in the role. Now, James, by the time you got around doing it in 2018, there'd been a few incarnations of Michael Myers.
Right.
Like, did you study the role, or did you just go on cold and say, "I'm going to make it my own"?
There's a great character actor named Ted Knight who gave me a wonderful gift. He told me if you want to be a good actor, emulate the bartender, the guy walking down the street, but don't look at what they do or how they speak. Reach inside and grab their soul. So what I did was I watched the 1978 version that Nick did, and I reached inside, metaphorically, and I grabbed what he did and allowed that to wash through, and that's how I created that character. There was no thought process.
No thought process?
No thought process.
Oh, it just kind of came naturally.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned John Carpenter. What was it like? You worked with him a couple times,
Yeah.
not only Halloween, but Escape from New York, I believe, as well.
Right.
What was it like working with a master like that?
Well, a master is one of my close friends from film school. We went to the University of Southern California together. We did movies back then. We did an Academy Award-winning short together while we were still at film school. So we were good buddies, and we played music together. We were in a rock and roll band.
Oh no, a rock and
Yeah.
roll band as well.
Yes.
Okay, now your background is you're a stunt double, a stunt performer as well,
Right.
From what I understand. Tell us a little bit about that. I mean, what kind of tolls does that take on your body?
A few surgeries, point to a body part. I've got a story. But that I fell into it. I mean, I went out to be an actor. I'm classically trained. Stella Adler was one of my coaches. She coached, Marlon Brando. But I was offered a role on the live show, the Universal Studios, The Adventures of Conan. In that show, I fought with double swords. I did a high fall 20 feet into a flaming pit. And so I just naturally fell into doing roles that required physicality and acting skills, dialects, that kind of thing.
It's got to be easier falling into a role than a flaming pit, so I'm glad you found that out a little later. Now, you guys are doing a meet and greet. Tell me, what are some of the most common things fans come up to you and ask about?
Oh my God, a lot of people ask me how I got the job. They do that, and they go, "What's your favorite scene, Nick, in the movie? What's your favorite kill?" There's a lot of people that just love the kills.
Just love the kills, right? Oh, man. And what about yourself? Have you had anything like a real odd question? Or they just kind of surprised maybe what you look like in real life? Or?
The most common question I get is, what's it like to work with Jamie Lee Curtis? And she's an amazing woman. I mean, and Nick will tell you, she's a poster child for an empowered woman. She's amazing. So the opportunity to go so deep with her, and our final kill scene in Halloween Ends, she and I both agreed it's the most powerful thing we've ever done in a movie. And for Jamie to say that is quite something.
That is impressive. Okay, where can people meet you this weekend?
We're going to be in the Emagine theaters tonight in Novi. And we're going to there's 3 double features, and Nick and I will be doing a Q&A in between each one. And then tomorrow we're at Screamers in Clinton and Township, and we're going to be signing autographs then. We won't have the time to sign autographs tonight, but we will be signing autographs all day tomorrow at Screamers. So, come out and let's feed some kids, man.
Okay, well, let's feed some kids indeed. Now, one final question. Is Michael Myers dead?
Well, let's just put it this way. It's made so much money in the last 3. I don't think they'll allow him to be dead. They'll figure some way to
He'll
get
never
him.
die. Gentlemen, thanks a lot for dropping by. I really appreciate the
Real
chat.
pleasure, thanks.
You know where to see him this weekend if you want to meet Michael Myers.